Welcome everyone to this episode of On Record, Off Script, where we explore the complete story behind the extraordinary achievements of people we admire. This space is where we share authentic conversations about what it truly takes to build something meaningful. I'm your host, Yolanda, founder and chief strategist of The Swank Professional. And we're excited about this episode and honored to have a legendary guest whom I truly admire. I think that you're going to love him. Every minute of our conversation will be something that you can hold on to. Our guest today is Chef Sammy Davis. Chef Sammy is an entrepreneur, a restaurateur, creator of legendary brands, and a culinary consultant. People call him many things. I just call him my friend. Let's get into it. Welcome, Chef Sammy.
Welcome.
This is going to be fun because, you know, you are such an extraordinary person and you have all these achievements, but realistically, we just call each other friends.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. You are literally one of my favorite people in the world. Have I ever told you that?
No, but that's good to know.
Yeah, it is good to know. I remember our time even in Atlanta. You were just always an authentic person. I just always enjoyed being around you. And most of all, you were a kind person. You've always been a kind person. Where did that come from?
The kindness?
Yeah, just, you know, here's the thing. I was at your bubbly brunch this weekend and people talked about how they felt like they know you. Like everybody in the restaurant thought they know you. So where does that come from?
I think because I'm a naturally kind person. I grew up very mean, around very mean people. Mm-hmm. So I think I just always wanted to be super kind to people and super nice. I think it gets you a lot further than being mean. But being kind works for me.
Yeah.
I like it.
We're going to talk about all of your past because the whole premise of this show, On Record, Off Script, is really about all your accolades. So I'm going to read those down for you. But most of all, it's about the off-script moments, which you've already kind of alluded to your childhood. So we'll get into that. But before we do that, I came to your bubbly brunch.
Yeah.
And people had so much to say about you and this brunch. You ready?
Was it good stuff?
Let's take a look.
All right.
I mean, just the texture, the flavor, everything. Like the chicken was beautiful. Hey, the king of brunch. Earned it. Thank you, Chef Sammy.
Simply perfect. Always a 10 out of 10.
The king of brunch, always 10 out of 10.
I could taste the flavor. I could taste the seasoning. It was good. He did good.
Would you do it again?
I would. Tomorrow?
All right. So people really enjoyed the brunch. They enjoyed being in the space. They enjoyed what you created for them. Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel to hear people just authentically tell you how much they enjoy your food?
I think that's the biggest satisfaction, is that the people enjoy the food. I think my biggest challenge growing up was food. So to hear people getting so much enjoyment out of it is like really dope to me. That felt good.
Yeah. You had a childhood friend that talked about y'all growing up together and he was just in awe of how much you've accomplished. How does it make you feel to have someone you grew up with just see you as like this amazing entity out in the world, icon in the world?
I mean, it's great because we were like Elson, that whole crew, we were such bad kids. And I know none of us thought we would be where we at. I think Elson is he's one of the big guys at a big financial advisor group. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that coming.
Well, you know what? He said he didn't see your life coming either.
No, he probably definitely didn't see mine because I tell you what, we did something in school and I dragged Elson in it. Me and Elson are the first two people to ever get Saturday detention.
Saturday detention? That's not even a school day.
I know.
So, I mean,
we had to go to school on Saturday and serve detention because we were so bad. I think we were the first two in America.
I actually really want to know what y'all did, but I don't know. It might incriminate y'all. It might incriminate y'all.
I don't want to open up no new cases on anybody, but it was during our childhood. It was in like 7th, 8th grade. We did something and Saturday detention was invented. And I'll never forget that. And that's the biggest memory I got with Elson. Besides, Elson's dad, I think, worked at Tasty Cake, mm-hmm. I think, in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Elson knew I didn't have food at school.
Oh, wow.
Elson shared his lunch with me every day. Every day. I love that guy.
Yeah. So when he say y'all grew up together, you really did.
Oh, we really grew up. Yeah. And, like we went to the school uptown in the top part of Logan. So like very few of us came to the bottom part of Logan. But me, Elson, and a couple other people lived there, and Elson lived 1 block over from me. So we was really super tight. Our older siblings went to school together. So yeah.
Elson and his family literally drove 2 hours. And I was just thinking to myself, what kind of food is this that y'all drive 2 hours? And then we see people on the video that 10 out of 10 across the board. Everybody talked about how creative their dishes were. Do you typically have people that come that far?
Yeah. When we had Beltsville, people were driving far. We get people from New York all the time. Like
coming to the DMV.
Yeah.
Just to eat.
Asian family from New York that came to Beltsville all the time to eat. And I remember them because he was a police officer and he loved the food. Yeah, people was driving far.
Yeah.
When we were in Beltsville.
Well, people loved it. I loved it. I had the lobster and grits. It was the most wonderful meal that I've had. Matter of fact, I had a friend that came with me that you met when you came out, and he said that it was the best meal that he had had in a very long time. So you out here changing lives.
Wow, that's good. I mean, I think the grits is one of the big things. I think we get a lot of people that don't eat grits. And I think we put so much love into the grits. And when you hear people say, like, I don't eat grits, but I eat your grits for the first time, and I'm a grits person.
Let me tell you, they are a 10 out of 10. Yeah. I've been making grits. I'm from the South. And I know you and I have had this argument about where Southern and soul food came from. So we're not going to argue about that today. Yeah. Are we?
No, because I don't think it came from the South.
Oh my
I think it was born in the South.
Come on. Are you kidding me right now?
I think it was born in the South, but I think it was made great in the North.
Now, why would you? You're going to get me sidetracked, but let me just say, for all the people who are listening from the South, I know y'all know that this is not the truth.
I think they know the truth. I think towns like Chicago do great soul food.
Okay.
I think towns like New York, like during the Harlem Renaissance, if you go back and look at that, like fried chicken, well, I guess Virginia is the South, but there's a town in Virginia where there's a train that runs through, and they used to hand fried chicken to their men on the trains, and black women used to stand out there. That's what fried chicken was invented.
Oh my goodness!
Like right there, it's a town outside of Ashburn, Virginia, like right out there. And if you do the research, you'll find that was one of the first places fried chicken, and it was black women standing out there. Yeah, so I think y'all think deep South like Mississippi. Of course, they're gonna say Alabama, and I don't know if those towns perfected soul food. I think that they made soul food, but I think soul food was perfected in towns like Harlem, Chicago, parts of Philly. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about your journey and how you became so well learned in food. But before we do that, because the show is called On Record Off Script, I have to read off your accomplishments a bit because I got to put them on record before we dig a little bit deeper into some other things. So, and you can tell me if this is true and what I'm missing, right? So for the record, Chef Sammy Davis is living proof that extraordinary success can rise from the most challenging beginnings. Known throughout the culinary world as the king of brunch and a true culinary phenomenon, Chef Sammy has transformed personal adversity into a remarkable empire of flavor, entrepreneurship, and community impact. Chef Sammy's story is one of redemption, resilience, and remarkable success. From childhood homelessness to celebrity chef, from dishwasher to restaurant empire builder, he embodies the truth that talent, determination, and vision can make any dream achievable. He is the creator of the legendary brand Milk and Honey, which became a premier brunch destination before he strategically sold it to Thompson Restaurants, where he continues as a consultant. Chef Sammy's culinary mastery caught national attention when he became the champion of the Food Network's hit show, Chopped, cementing his status as a television personality and culinary force. His expertise has made him the personal chef of choice for A-list celebrities, and he has been featured on major networks such as The Today Show, Fox, NBC, Forbes, and numerous other media outlets. There's more. Today, Chef Sammy continues to push culinary boundaries as the owner of Yebo Kitchen in Baltimore, a stunning African-Asian fusion restaurant housed in a coveted church that showcases his global palate. at Gaia Supper Club, which we're here today, where he ventures into a bold new territory, blending Mediterranean and Latin influences to create show-stopping dishes. As a sought-after consultant, Chef Sammy has been the creative force behind some of the region's most successful establishments, and his golden touch in restaurant development has earned him countless national awards. Now, beyond culinary achievements, Chef Sammy is a passionate advocate for at-risk youth, co-creating a transformative 8-week program that empowers local teens through culinary training while teaching life skills that lead to success both inside and outside the kitchen. You do everything. Sammy has also made his mark in publishing with his book, Chopped and Chewed, sharing insights on cooking, business, and overcoming adversity. His journey continues to empower aspiring chefs, entrepreneurs, and anyone facing seemingly impossible odds. Now, I noticed you took a lot of drinks of water while I was reading that. How does it make you feel to have someone put all of your, not even all of your achievements?
Who wrote that?
I wrote that.
Golly.
Yeah, but.
Can I have a copy of that?
Oh my gosh. But how does it feel? Seriously, this is, I want this to settle in for a second with you. Because very often, I think people who are working so hard to achieve these aspirational goals in life never really sit and have people just praise and celebrate them. And so just to sit in this moment and understand how much you've done, how does that feel?
It feels good, but I think I achieved it. So there was an ulterior motive to doing this.
Okay.
I only wanted to become famous so that my mother could find me.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. They're like, why'd you do it? I only wanted to be this big famous person so that maybe if my parents were watching TV, because I didn't know my dad was dead. So maybe if my parents watching TV, they'd be like, oh shit, that's my son.
That
and
is
they'd reach
amazing.
out and try to find me. And so that's been the motivation behind it the whole time. There's no other motivation.
So this was never about
Cooking,
setting these
none of that.
goals.
I ain't set no goals.
This was
nothing
about
like
your
that.
heart.
This was about me finding my mother and finding my family. That's all.
That's amazing.
And so once I did that, I kind of like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do nothing else.
Well,
I don't even want to cook no more.
Well, you kept going. I want to talk about your mom. Not now. I want to come back to your mother because I think that that's a story that will take a little bit of time. But let's pick up where we left off because I think the mom story is going to lead into kind of what's next for you. You've accomplished a lot, my friend. And just thinking about your life full circle, if that wasn't your motivation, if restaurants and being a part of this culinary world were not a part of your journey, where would you be?
Oh, I was destined for jail. I was bad as hell. Yeah, I'm proud of that.
I think I saw a little bit of that
Yeah,
when we were in Atlanta,
yeah.
but
I was definitely destined for jail.
why do you say you were destined? I read something where you said someone told you that you were either going to be in jail or dead by a certain age.
Miss Jones.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my history teacher.
Oh my God,
And
Miss
she
Jones.
said, "Oh, I hate you."
Oh my gosh.
She said you are not going to make. She said you're not going to make it to 17. She had me in detention one time.
I'm so sorry,
And,
Miss Jones. We called your name out.
Yeah, Miss Jones. Miss Jones, history teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you ain't going to make it to 17. She said, you are a horrible young man. I said, okay. And I left school and never went back.
Interesting. Before you were 17, you dropped out of school.
I was right at 16. Yeah, so.
Did you graduate?
Nah. I went to go do that thing, pay for your graduation, because I was in a transition. I was in a prison program. So I was transitioning from Young Adults Guidance Center.
All right,
and
so
you had to
we're
go to
going to have
school.
to kind of go back.
Yeah, it's
because
really complicated.
We missed a lot of steps. So we were
So I
going to
was
talk about the
incarcerated
business.
in high
Okay.
school.
Okay.
And so when you get released, they release you to, I didn't have a family to go to. So I got released to Young Adults Guidance Center, YAGC. While YAGC, I went to school. You had to go to school part-time, but you had to have a job too. So I went to school maybe a couple hours a day just to show up. So then when it was time to graduate, I went to go pay for that cap and gown thing so I could walk down walk with the class and stuff. And they told me that I hadn't done community service. So they was like, you can't graduate. So I was like, forget it. I was like, I'm community service. I've been out here working a job. Like, I've been doing some real work.
This is a fascinating part of your story. I don't think I knew this story. So you, at that moment when you left school, you never went back.
I never went back.
So you never got the GED, none of that stuff.
None of that stuff.
And now you've built an empire.
Yeah, so I got people that want to give me a degree. But I'm like, where were y'all at when I needed
honorary,
a degree? Yeah. Whatever they call that thing. Yeah, like
honorary degree.
I'm like, I'm good on that because I don't want to talk bad about education because my father's side of the family is all in education. Like that's all that they do. I think it's beneficial, but I think you start to see a new world develop that I knew it was heading this way. I don't know how I knew it was heading this way, but it was based upon skill. And as you see these people out here making as much as probably you who don't have a degree. And you probably like, I went and paid a lot of money for this degree.
I'm still paying.
Now it's girls who making probably just as much as you
more.
Don't have the debt.
They're making so much more.
It's interesting how that changed. And the playing field got leveled, which is why America is great, because that playing field leveled. But yeah, when I left school, I think I was just so upset about it. And then I got kicked out of YGC. I mean, you don't get kicked out. So I got released. They called McDonald's and said, hey, your time is up. You're released. I was like, okay.
And then you had to figure out what to do.
Yeah, they give you a check because they take 80% of your check and you get 20% and they put that money
while you're incarcerated.
Yeah.
But they hold it back for you so when you get out. So you had a little bit when you got out.
At 3 a.m. I got off work from McDonald's. Went to YGC.
This is at 16 at age?
I'm like 18 because
18.
I aged out of the program.
Gotcha, okay.
And so I thought I was gonna have a place to sleep that night. But when I got there, my bags and stuff were outside with a check. And Mr. Morton was like, you're done. He's like, you aged out. So I went and got a newspaper. I was like, hey, where am I gonna sleep? Like, I didn't know nothing because this was Atlanta. I went and got a newspaper and in there this is before phones and stuff.
Yeah.
So
you were with a pencil
I saw you could rent a room.
Circling.
Yeah, I saw you could rent a room for $30. So I rented a room on Bankhead Highway for $30 and just started staying there. And that's when my life began.
So we were going to talk about all the things that you've done around Milk and Honey and all these brands that you created, but I think it's all intertwined. So it's very hard to kind of isolate who you are now without giving credence and conversation to like how you got there. And that was one of my big things, Milk and Honey, even when we came in and we were talking to friends of mine, everybody knows Milk and Honey.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get back to like the building blocks. I know the backstory, so we're going to get back to building that block. But like, Milk and Honey was its own legendary thing. So you got to tell me what corner of the $30 room you sat in.
It was in jail. So to get out of your cell, you can go to that church. Like, they'll let you go to church in a different part of the place, right?
Yeah.
And so this preacher who used to come in there on Sundays, he used to always say, God is going to deliver y'all from a place. God's going to deliver you to a place flowing with milk and honey.
I love him.
But I loved his voice. Like, this man had a very white type voice.
Yeah.
And when he talked, he was like a father that you never had. He's like, yeah. And he used to like, God is going to deliver you to a place flowing with milk and honey. And he used to always
No.
Yeah, he used to always.
This is how Milk and...
That's where the name came from. I don't know nothing about anything else, but that's how the name came about. And I had always said,
Sammy.
I said, oh, I love that name. And it's just always stuck with me. Milk and honey. I used to tell people that all the time. I'm like, God's going to deliver me to a place flowing with milk and honey. And I don't know why that man's voice still in my head. I could hear him standing up there now in that robe and, talking about milk and honey and stuff like that. So that's where the name came from. So,
I got to ask you, like, I don't know what your belief system is, but do you think like this man, I mean, it's almost like divine order that he's here talking about milk and honey, trying to get you to the promised land, and your promised land on earth.
Yeah. I'm not religious at all. I'm religious now. Of course, after the heart thing, I became religious. But before that, I never recognized God or anything. Like I said, I just used it as a way to get out the cell and go listen to this guy talk about, Jesus or whatever. And so that's the only time I ever heard about it. But milk and honey is where the name came from, was directly from him.
That's amazing.
100% from him. I probably owe him royalties.
You probably need to send him a check.
Yeah.
So now you have this concept. How did you package that into a restaurant? So now I think the interesting thing about your story is that you can't stay in present. So now we have to talk about everything that led up to this brand that you created.
I tried Milk and Honey in Atlanta.
Okay.
And when I tried it
As in?
I did it.
Yeah.
As proof of concept. Yeah. I was messing with this girl. Can't say her name.
Please don't.
She was a drug dealer.
I do not want to get it. Oh my gosh.
So, and she gave me the $20,000. What's his name was selling? He was selling the Pangea. He was selling Pangea.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted $40,000 for it. I asked the drug dealer girl who I was dating. She gave me like $20,000. I gave him the 20 grand. I bought that restaurant. I told her I needed some more money. She gave me like another $30,000.
Oh my gosh.
So I could furnish the place.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of that, I was using $30 to get the place together. I owe what's his name for Pangea, the other 20 grand. I came home and she got busted. So she was freaking gone. My money source was.
Yeah.
So that's why the Milk and Honey thing didn't get out the gates good, because I was always behind.
Mm-hmm.
And what I know as a consultant is when the money can't fuel the dream, you go into mission drift. So a lot of times as a consultant, I'll walk into somebody's restaurant and I'll see something happening that wasn't part of the business plan. Because I actually wrote the business plan for Milk and Honey.
Yeah.
There's a business plan that exists. But you get right off that and you gotta go this way. Milk and Honey was just supposed to be a coffee bar.
Milk
That's
and Honey
it.
was supposed to be a coffee bar.
Coffee
not
bar
this
lounge. I would
elaborate
send you
restaurant with all of these different menu
This
items.
was not in the plan.
Oh, wow.
At all. It was only about coffee. And so when the money source left, I had to hurry up and do what you call pivot.
Yeah.
So I just started cooking in it. I started cooking brunch. I was like, I needed some money. And people started coming. That's when
oh, wow.
dude that I know, he brought Jason Jeter. And I gotta really thank Jason Jeter.
Yeah, okay.
Because Jason played a huge role in this. Because Jason, Patchworks was, Tippingham Studio was around the corner.
Yes, I remember that.
He would bring all them rappers and stuff.
To your restaurant.
Yeah, Marvin McIntyre, who found New Edition, his place was across the street from Milk and Honey.
Yeah.
And Marvin used to come over there, he used to bring me cans of tuna and be like, make this tuna casserole. And it's in my DM right now. He just, like 3 months ago, he's like, yo, can I get some tuna casserole? And that's all he used to come over and make, him and his wife.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got into like the celebrity side of it.
Yeah.
And the celebrities started, invest, using it. Jazzy Faye came in and filmed a show in there.
Yeah.
It was a competition show. And that's when that drummer boy first came on the scene, who's now Drummer Boy.
That's right.
But the girl, my waitress, Lizzie, was dating this boy called Drummer Boy. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, but he's going to be big one day. And you hear that all the time. So I was like, yeah, whatever. And to see Drummer Boy now is like, that's crazy. So I was coming up in that era during Milk and Honey when Atlanta was really ramping up musically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of caught that wave, rode it. And
I remember that. I think it was like on Peachtree. There was a restaurant. I remember, I don't know if it was a restaurant that Tip owned or
Justin's?
There was another one. But
Shark Bar?
I think so. I just remember you.
It's crazy. Yeah, we was at the Shark Bar. I was at the Shark Bar in the 90s.
Yeah.
The Shark Bar is what he stole. I'll just say he stole and opened his other restaurant directly across the street, which became known as.
Yeah.
And so he took that whole staff with him. Like Chef Joe and all of us went with him. So Chef Joe was Oprah chef and all of that. And he became his chef and he ran that restaurant and we all came over there. And that was when I first started doing brunch. That Chef Joe hated me so much, and I'll say his name, because he texts me now, like we're cool now. Yeah. He hated me so much that I had to close on Saturday night and open for brunch.
Oh, wow.
And that's when but he let me do whatever
you wanted. Yeah.
I could be as creative as I wanted to be.
He took the brakes off you.
He thought he was punishing me.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, I could rock out with this brunch thing.
Yeah, and you did.
Yeah.
I remember brunch being your thing. And I always think about like, I've had your food for a number of years now, and I always think about all the other friends that went to culinary school that are chefs. Not you.
No.
Not you. Let me tell you, it was interesting because I was thinking about this as I was thinking about our conversation. I was like, have you ever been around people that are musically inclined? Like you don't know why they know how to play the piano or the flute or the trumpet, but they can play by ear. Mm-hmm. And never been trained a day in their life, but if you give them a beat, they catch it. You're like that with food?
Yeah. Yeah, because you got to think, like, I didn't do brunch at first. I entered Asian restaurants. Well, I entered steakhouses first. I was with George McCarroll at Longhorn when they was first developing Longhorns. Oh, wow. So I came out of that whole steak world, and then I caught that Asian thing, and that Asian culinary scene just sucked me in. Yeah. So much, like. Yeah. The food was like we was cooking right here. When I got into that Asian world, it was like stuff I had never seen before. And the discipline you needed to work there, like when you worked at Pacific Rim, it's in the basement of Sun Truck.
One of my favorite restaurants.
The kitchen is in the basement. Mm-hmm. It's all Asian, and the tickets print up in Chinese. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even print up in English. Yeah. So
how did you know what you were cooking?
You just had to grab. That's why I be telling these people, like, I don't have to, like, they be getting mad at me because I don't talk while I'm training. But I'm like, nobody talked to me when I was training. Like, you literally had to pay attention and understand what was going on and work them walks and working here. And you working with a whole culture of people that really don't want you here. Like, there's big time racism in there. Oh, wow. But if you can do the job, they'll respect you. Okay. And that is when I came up with that saying, all you got to do is outwork the man next to you. Outwork everybody. And that's how I coined that phrase. All I know is I look at the person standing next to me, I'm like, you got to be out of a job.
You were putting people out of work.
Yeah, because I figured, like, when I first went to Roy's, and there was 3 people on the veggie station, and I was like, how can I get a raise? They can't pay you if 3 of y'all are working at. So 2 of y'all got to go. I got to learn how to do this whole thing myself. And the thing about Roy's, all you had to do was learn the sets. Mm-hmm. You could run a veg station by yourself if you learned the sets. Mm-hmm. So I wrote the sets down on index cards, and I went home and I memorized them. Mm-hmm. So I knew that the mahi-mahi came with the lobster mashed broccolini lobster sauce. So I knew what set to grab. The problem with them that made them so slow is that they didn't know the sets. Yeah. So it slowed them down, and you needed 3 people because it worked that slow. I created that station to be 1 person.
I love that. But let's just talk about, for real, so I think this is helpful for a lot of entrepreneurs, and I think it's helpful for a lot of people who are in leadership or aspiring to do really, really wonderful things. Like, I think you feel like you need to be perfect, like you need to have the plan, you need to know all the things. But I mean, I think you're articulating a strategy. Your strategy was to make this a one-man show. I'm going to outwork everybody. Yep. But also, you didn't have all the tools. You had a language barrier.
No, when I went to Roy's, I'm gonna just talk very, very real, right? Mm-hmm. It was all white boys, and these were white boys from LA, and they could cook. They could cook you on the bread. They all had degrees and everything, right? Yeah. I had no degree. So when I went to Roy's, at Outback, I was a trainer. Okay. Making $22 an hour. Yeah. When I went to Roy's, they said, "Go, you can wash dishes here." Okay. And they offered me a $4.75 an hour. I had to go home and tell my baby mother that I was going to quit this job so that I could follow my dream. Because somebody told me if I worked for Roy's, that I could be a chef one day. Oh, okay. And so the only way I get my foot in the door is at $4.75. So I quit, washed dishes for like a week. The veg position became open. They needed somebody. Chuck didn't show up for his shift. So I took his position. They was like, come on up. We put you on the veg
Chuck
station.
Is a real person.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, I love Chuck. Because me and Chuck was the only 2 blacks.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you put Chuck
I can't say that?
You put Chuck out of a job?
Chuck quit. No, we saw each other years later. I was like, whatever happened to you? He's like, man, I got locked up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I got locked up. Because I hadn't seen him in years. And I had always wondered what happened. I was like, you been in jail all this time? He's like, man, I've been locked up, man. And I ran into him at the Martin train station at 5 Points. And we had a good old time talking. And I said, yeah, they put me on that veg station, man. I said, I killed it. And in 1 year, I went from $4.75 to executive sous chef, making $60,000 a year.
Oh my goodness.
Just 1 year.
1 year.
In 1 year. That's what I tell people. I work the man next to you. That's all you got to, like, do you remember this Ilian Gonzalez thing.
I do.
That family that came here.
I remember I was in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was in
When it
Atlanta,
happened,
right?
yeah,
And I'm sitting there looking at the news, and I'm like, somebody got on some freaking cardboard and floated here.
Why can't you?
What is here that would make somebody get in shark-infested waters and float here?
And you found it.
And I was like, there's got to be something here.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just missing it.
Yeah.
But like, you can't get me on Lake Michigan on a piece of cardboard. But that family, all of them got, and you remember what it was like a little.
No,
it was so. I was like, how?
Yeah, it was.
I was like, how the heck did 10 people fit on that?
It was an act of desperation.
And so that let me see that was right here. We in the greatest place in the world, despite what's going on now or what we think of it now. Like, you can become anything you want to be.
Yeah.
In America.
Yeah.
And the playing field is so even. I think sometimes we push that racism agenda, and I'm not going to down it because some of our people did come up through that, and some women did have to do more than they needed to do to get their positions and stuff like that. So I'm not going to down. But this is the one place in the world where you got a fighting chance.
Yeah, I do believe that, but I want to talk about this fighting chance because I do think a lot of people just become overwhelmed with fear. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that you grew up, and we're about to talk about your like childhood a little bit. You just grew up almost, you had to be fearless. But and so I think my question is, what has what has translated into the kitchen? I
mean, my sister and I, we wasn't given food. We were abused. Me and Selima, we were super abused. We were, and we fought every day. Like, every day you walked out the house and inside that house, like being abused, you fought. And we just learned to fight, man. We just wanted something better. Like, I never had nothing new. I have a shoe addiction now because I never had a new pair of damn shoes. So yeah, I have a shoe addiction now that I probably need help for. But no, that's some real shit.
Yeah, it is.
I got one room. I can't even walk in it because there's so many shoes. And that's a true story. But we grew up with nothing, and you grew up fighting. I grew up in North Philly. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in one of the worst places probably in America. But you had to fight. Like, my sister left home when she was like 15. Had her kids at like 16, 17. And she been in the streets since. Like, her baby father, I can't mention his name, but it's one of the biggest drug dealers that ever come through. It's a book about him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, coming up through that, we thought it was bad, but it taught us to fight. Because my sister's dope as heck now.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing amazing stuff in the medical world in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Me, people think that, my story, like, yo, from where he came, like, Elson, like, they know where I came from.
Of course.
And they like to see this. Like, yo, that's nothing short of, like, that's why they say, like, God, they throw God in it. But I'm like, even if you don't know God, even on the earthly realm, like, you can get out here and fight in these streets.
So let's talk a little bit about your childhood, because I think it's important. Most people will say I grew up tough, but you grew up really tough. Like, so your challenging childhood was your mom was a teenage mother.
Yeah, like I wasn't raised. So, long story short, my dad was a drug dealer. My mother was a drug user. She's a heroin addict. She's still a heroin addict now. She goes to a meth clinic. But if you see her, you wouldn't know. She looks no different than you. So she's been on heroin like her whole life.
Okay.
I wasn't raised by them. My father had us. He got killed. When he got killed, he had put us with these people, and nobody knew where we were. So we got stuck with some people who were like, holy crap. They had like 5 kids of their own.
Yeah.
So we couldn't even be part of that thing. We were like these extra kids that nobody came back for. Yeah. Because my dad was trying to hide us from my mom. And so that's when the abuse started and stuff like that. Like, we would beat, like, I got the shit beat out of me. And that's not even to put it lightly. I remember that lady taking my hand. I took a chocolate milk and drank it. And that lady put my hand, like, she turned the stove on, put my hand in that fire. And I think that it builds something up. Like, I think they think they're tearing you down, but it's building something up inside of you. And you got to go to a lot of therapy afterwards.
What did you tell yourself when you were younger and going through that?
I told myself I'm going to find my mom and dad. That's all I ever wanted to do.
You didn't understand that your dad had put you there.
No, I didn't know my dad was dead at the time. Like, I didn't know what's going on.
So your dad was murdered.
Yeah, he was murdered in Richmond, Virginia.
And then before he was murdered, he put you all there, but you didn't understand.
When he used to make his trips,
yeah,
he used to stick us with different families. Just so happened we got left with this family in Philly. Mm-hmm. And he never, and my mom didn't know.
He never came back because he
died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't know why you and your sister were there and there was no one coming to get you. You didn't even know that no one was coming to get you.
Yeah, it's very true, yeah. And we had no idea about our mom. Like, we knew less about our mom than we did our dad. But I think my mom just chose a life of drugs. She probably didn't even, like, when I met my mom a few years ago, because I did find her, mm-hmm. and I said, because I have kids.
Yeah.
And if somebody took my kids from me, I would search like hell
to find them.
To find my kids.
Yeah.
I said, why you never look for us? Mm-hmm. And I think she gave me the realest answer she could give. I mean, she put everything on my dad. She's like, your dad was just so bad. She's like, I really thought he was gonna kill me. She's like, that was
so
a
your
horrible
mother
man.
probably experienced some domestic violence.
Yeah, she bent over. She was like, feel this. And so she had this stitch in her head. She had this thing in her head. She's like, that's where your dad threw me out the window. Oh. And she's like, I left your father and never came back. She's like, that was a horrible man.
So let me ask you, like, you've gone through so much family-wise. Was there ever a fairy tale when you were younger? I know you said you did all of this to find your mom and your parents. But was there a fairy tale in your head that you were like escaping to?
Oh yeah, we used to lie all the time. Like I tell people all the time, like who my mom and my dad was, and
you used to make it up.
Yeah, you make it up all the time. You go places and meet people, and the life that I was living was not the life that I was telling people. I lived in this huge fantasy world, but that's what makes your creative mind. The creative mind plays with the object it loves, and so I always.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Bars, come on, let's run that back. Say that again one more time.
The creative mind plays with the object it loves.
I love that, friend.
So I would always create inside my head the life that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And so I would make stuff in that basement. There were so many things, to make in that basement and stuff like that where we were being held at. And I just became
Why you
creative.
say you were being held?
We wasn't really allowed to come up.
You really felt like you were imprisoned.
Oh, we were,
even before you were incarcerated. Yeah,
they let us up to do the dishes. So the food part probably comes in because they family would eat, and then me and Salima would be allowed in the kitchen to do whatever. And I used to try to make, Salima would try to make edible food. Like Salima can outcook. Only person on this earth that I know can cook better than me is Salima.
I met your sister.
Yeah.
And she can burn.
Yeah, so.
For Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so she used to play with the food and kind of make it edible for us to eat while we was doing the dishes, and we had to clean their kitchen and stuff like that. And I just remember that. And then I think that's when she was like building our palettes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Cause she was, what you see now with this ramen and pho.
Yeah, y'all used to make that.
Oh, she was killing it way back then. And that was that was my food. So when Salima left the house, they used to take their kids to Disney World and stuff like that and put us in there. And that's how the South Carolina stuff came about.
Ah, I see.
Where they used to drop me in South Carolina, mm-hmm. in Florence, South Carolina, mm-hmm. with this family. Mm-hmm. I don't know who those people are to this day, but that lady was like 90 years old and she could cook her ass off. And she took me everywhere with her to the gardens to pick the fried green tomatoes,
I love that.
All this stuff. The grits, those are her grits. The grits now mm-hmm. are her. This is the first person I saw put chicken, beef base, and grits. She would put beef base in it. She would change the flavor of the grits like daily and stuff like that. And this lady could cook Southern food so god darn well.
Your first trainer.
And that's who, most of that stuff that I cooked came from that palate that I developed.
Yeah, I can tell. It's
living with her.
The heavy and the heavy flavors. I love that. So let's talk about a little bit of modern day and some things that you have gone through. Let's talk about your restaurant in Baltimore first.
Yebo.
Yeah. That's your baby?
That's my baby. Nobody messes with Yebo.
What's the inspiration behind it?
The soul Asian, like growing up eating from the Chinese corner stores, mm-hmm. and a combination of the South Carolina, when those two met, when that young boy would go to South Carolina, but then come back from South Carolina and still growing up in North Philly would eat at the Asian spots, mm-hmm. you taste that in Yebo, 100%.
opened Yebo at a time when people had mixed reviews about Baltimore. You know, it was like, are you afraid to go to Baltimore, right? And Baltimore is such a vibrant city. It's one of my favorite cities, and the food in Baltimore is top notch.
Yeah.
And
The food in Baltimore is better.
Don't you upset these people in DC.
The food in Baltimore is better than
Dude.
the food in Laurel.
The food in Laurel.
Yeah.
Do not upset these people.
We'll just leave it at that.
But the truth of the matter is, you created a space that's beautiful and serving beautiful vibes at a time that you were taking a chance.
A huge chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Cardan brought the deal to me, he said, look, man, I don't know if you're interested. He said, but we're about to do a lot of work in Baltimore development-wise. And he said, sitting in the heart of it is a restaurant that we have that the people just moved out of. And he's like, I think it'd be perfect for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I think you should come and do brunch there because there's no breakfast in the area. So I came there, looked at it, and
it was yours.
yeah, because it's the first time in 5 years I'm coming off my non-compete.
Mm-hmm.
So when I sold Milk and Honey, I had a 5-year non-compete.
That's
so
why.
I couldn't
Okay,
cook
got it.
for 5 years.
You couldn't cook for 5 years?
Yeah, I couldn't cook for 5 years. I couldn't do anything for 5 years.
You were.
Yeah. So
no pun intended, not on ice, but like.
yeah, so my earnout.
Day.
So the last part of the few million of my earnout was based upon me not violating my non-compete and stuff like that. And the biggest compliment I ever got in my life, and I kept this email and I framed it. So as we're going back and forth, because it took a year to do this deal with the Milk and Honey thing with Thompson, right? Because they got in-house lawyers, and I'm paying a lawyer. And Taya is the best lawyer I could ever find street side, right? Taya said, Sam, we got a problem. He called me, he said, we got a problem. He said, man, you can walk away from the deal. Leave the deal alone. He said, but, I said, what's the problem, Taya? He said, they don't want you to cook. No more.
The one thing that has been your lifeblood, you can't do.
He said, they'll up the money. He said, but you can't cook no more. And they want 10 years. I said, what, Taya?
You couldn't cook for 10 years? That was the original?
That was the original thing. So they was like, he can't cook for 10 years. So I'm reading the email. He's like, read the email. And in the bottom of the email, it says, this is a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
I'm a young boy from North Philly.
That's right.
Who started this with $5,000.
Yeah.
In that email, it says, from Maurice, we do not want to compete with Chef Sammy Davis.
Oh, come through.
I framed that thing. I said,
As you should.
I said, Taya, we can't do 10 years. I said, get it as low as you can get it, but we're going to do this deal.
Sammy, before we even get, like, the level of compliment that is...
That's a whole
and a testament to your food. Like, it's one thing for people to be like, oh, he good, he nice.
Yeah.
But when they say,
when a $1 billion company say
they don't even want to compete with you.
The $1 billion company.
First of all, y'all not on the same level.
You gotta realize, like, we came to the meeting. I think I had my chef coat on. I was in chef gear.
You intimidating people with your chef coat on?
No. I literally came from Milk and Honey cooking to this meeting, trying to get to this meeting on time. And I'm sitting in this big room, like all of their executives. Yeah. They had just bought another major company. They had those executives from that major company that they had just bought in there. And it was just me and my man sitting on the side of this table.
Yeah.
And
the feel was not even.
Not at all. Not at all. And so they pushed that piece of paper across, it had a number on it. I said, and we walked out. And that's why it took so long to do it. I said, tell me to get their number up. I said, man, I'll make that.
I love the fact, did you know that you had that level of leverage when you walked in? I mean, before the email, when people were like, we do not want to compete with you, did you know you were that nice?
Nah.
That's so interesting to me.
Nah, I didn't know. Before I read that in the email. And
well, who did you think you were before you read that in the email?
We just slinging hash. I was out here just slinging hash, man. Like,
and that's your impression of while everybody else in the world were like, this man is top notch. You just thought
slinging
you
hash.
were.
I didn't even
just stirring grits.
I'll be so honest with you. I wasn't even cooking with love during that time.
Are you serious?
Not at all, man. You got to understand. I had just came from Atlanta, like trying to find myself, sleeping in Swahili Village, sleeping in Kevin's restaurant. I ain't got no place to stay.
You were sleeping in the restaurant?
Yeah, I was sleeping in the restaurant. On days I couldn't afford a hotel because Kevin wasn't paying me that much. You gotta understand, like Kevin was only paying me. He's like, Sam, I want to pay you what your consultant fee. He's like, but I can only afford $300 a week. So I'm
you
up
just
here,
had to make it work.
Like even the girl who I was messing with in Atlanta, I told her I was making this money and stuff like that, and she thought I was flying. She was dropping me off at the airport. I had to get from the airport to downtown to take the mega bus.
Oh, wow.
I was on a 14-hour trip every week on the mega
for
bus.
For the $300?
For the $300 fucking dollars.
But
When I say get it out the mud,
get it out the mud.
I ain't saying it because Kevin Gates said it. I'm talking about I really got it out the mud.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on that stink bus. You know what I'm saying? And taking it back and forth and pretending to be at the airport and stuff like that.
You completely have like been grinding for a very long time. Now, let's go back to all the accolades that what does that do for you to know that you literally, when people say it started from the bottom?
Yeah.
You really did start from the bottom though.
Yes, 100%. Like I didn't take the elevator here. I took the long way, the hard way.
You did.
And I don't take nothing for this journey. I think people think that I would write the story differently.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. So Sammy, let me talk to you about your program. It's RVA. It's at Richmond, Virginia Cooks.
Yeah.
And your goal with that is to help young people who are at risk. Are you doing that because you were hoping that somebody would have come to save you or do something like that for you?
Yeah, I think that music teacher lady, right? She used to always hold me behind. I had music before lunch. And she used to always hold me behind. And she gave me a sandwich every day. She used to share her she used to bring an extra, I guess, with me. A little white lady.
I love the fact that you have to describe everybody.
Yeah, she was the nicest little white lady. I can't remember her name. And she made the most impact on me ever because she used to tell me to meet me at the corner of the block on Sundays. And she took me to this church. It was like all this hooping and hollering going on. Like, no, not in a bad way. It was like all young people.
Yeah.
Like we was all teenagers.
Yeah.
And it was huge and it was in like North Philly somewhere.
Yeah.
And she used to be like, you just got to find God. She's like, God can do it for you. She's like super religious. She's like, God can do it for you. She's like, if you just seek God. I wasn't hearing that. I just really wanted to get out the house.
Of course.
And more importantly, they fed you at that church. And so my story has always been about like
survival.
Yeah, like that's why I couldn't love women right in my early life.
Oh, we're about to get into that.
My love is based upon survival. So the minute I don't know how to love correctly, you know what I'm saying? Like I love 100% off survival. But I'm so grateful for the people that God
kept putting in your life.
Yeah, it ain't a lot of them, but it was some here and there.
Yeah.
That made like huge impacts,
So I want to talk about some current day stuff. You ready, friend? Because it's about to get real different. Speaking of God and the woman who kept taking you to the church, this year, at the beginning of the year, I remember getting a text from your daughter that scared me to death because it was very clear to me in the text that something was really wrong, right? And I needed to get to Baltimore to see my friend, but it felt like something else was under there. I almost didn't want to say how the text made me feel, how much urgency it required to get there. And I remember seeing you for the first time after getting the text, and there was this overwhelming pain and sense of hurt seeing you in the hospital and knowing that you were helpless, I was helpless, and even our conversations were different. They felt very heavy, like we had few options.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the moment that you had this health crisis that almost took you out and what that has done to change your life.
Wow. I mean, it's a game changer because I guess I grew up spiritually. I didn't know God, and My sister, who started at RVA Cooks in Richmond, she's like a big religious person. She said, only God gonna get you through this. So I had to find this guy they call God. I don't know.
Was this was a defining moment in your life?
Yeah.
I remember.
It was huge because I was doing research for this restaurant.
Yeah.
In New York City. And Chinatown was always on my bucket list. So I stayed in Chinatown and I came back so sick. And I didn't know what was going on with me. And I'm not really a doctor person. I had never been sick before like that or anything like that. And so I said, what's wrong? I said, let me just go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Go to that urgent care thing.
Yeah.
And they said, you got COVID.
Okay.
You have the new strand of COVID. And so I said, okay. They gave me these pills, like this set of 5 pills to take. And I wasn't getting no better. I finished the whole dose. So then I called, I think I called Mimi, like my personal assistant. And I called Mimi and I said, I really got to get to a better doctor. I said, because those pills did nothing. I said, I'm passing out. I said, I was in my car for 3 hours, knocked out. And I said, I was arguing with Deirdre at Yebo over firing somebody. And I said, I passed out again. I wasn't passing out, I was having heart attacks.
Wow.
I went to the hospital, and when I went, I never left. They hooked that thing up to me, and they said, you've had 4 heart attacks. I said, really? I said, when? And she said, you're having one now. That lady got me to my car, drove me in my car, the doctor, to the hospital, and rushed me through the whole thing. She said, we ain't waiting for no ambulance. She got me through there. And I never left the hospital. The problem was, it had ate my heart up. And so they can't operate on somebody who has COVID, but I needed an operation fast. The doctor of infectious disease said, you gotta wait 7 weeks for COVID to clear his system. And Dr. Cho was like, he ain't got 7 weeks.
I remember.
This thing is moving through his body fast. And then I found out I had diabetes, which made it go super fast.
Exacerbated it, yep.
That blood sugar thing was at 550. They couldn't do nothing till they got that to like 100 or try to get it like 150. The blood cell count was so hyped, it was at a 14. To operate on somebody like me, you needed it below a 5.
Oh, wow.
They said he's in no condition to get an operation to go under the knife. And Dr. Cho, they was in the hallway arguing. And the infectious disease and Dr. Cho. And he would call every day, like, did they clear you? I'm like, no, not yet. Because they couldn't get my body stable. And so one day they was arguing. And my daughter went out there. She's like, look, we ain't gonna let my dad die. So she stepped in.
Yeah. This is Lex.
Yeah. And you know, Lex, she a little hood.
She
you know,
is.
she's like, fuck
But we
this shit.
love her.
Yeah, she's like, you know, whatever we gotta do, we gonna do. You know, so there's like, he gotta write a will.
Yeah.
And agree to hold the hospital harmless if he dies. Y'all can't sue. So Lex like, fine. You know, she was like, you know, doing her little black girl thing. And she's like, fine. She's like, Dad, this is what it is. She's like, I gotta run to Atlanta. She's like, but I'll be right back. But Dad, you gotta work on getting your number. I had to be at a 9 though. My number, they forget the 5. They's like, if you get to a 9,
they would do the surgery.
Yeah, he'll do it. That Monday morning, I woke up at a 10. And later that day, I got to a 9. And so they agreed to go ahead and get me in there. And Dr. Cho said, look, I ain't never lost nobody.
Yeah.
Little mean Asian dude. Like, he's so straightforward. He's like, I ain't never lost nobody. He's like, but in 3 days, you got to get up and walk. He's like, that's the kicker. He was like, the surgery ain't gonna kill you. What kills you is pneumonia, because your lungs won't be functioning.
Yeah.
And if your lungs die, we can't operate on your lungs. You know what I'm saying? No way we get new lungs in here for you in time to save you. So he said, in 3 days, you got to get up and start walking. It takes people weeks to get up and start walking from that surgery. But I woke up 2 days later, because they put you under. I went under on like that Monday. I woke up like Wednesday. And I'm gonna tell you, that thing that they stick in your neck, that's the closest you're gonna get to feeling what death is like.
It was terrible.
Because you can hear the doctors or who's ever in your, whatever, they put you in that IC room after that and waiting for, somebody's on 24-hour standby waiting for you to wake up, I guess. And so they gotta pull that thing out so that you can begin to breathe. But you can hear them say, come on, you can do it, you can do it. Because it feels like you're taking your last breath. But you can hear them say, come on, you got it. You can do it, Sam, you can do it. Come on, come on, just take a breath, just take a breath. And it's like, I don't know what in the hell that is, but taking that out of you, because I felt it come out.
It was terrible.
And it was like, I guess maybe it's just like all this fluid goes in and you can't really catch your breath. It's like if you ever had one of those dreams where you're dying, like being choked or something. I was like, that was the worst part of it. Was that, I figured if I could survive that, I can survive anything.
It might make it.
Cause man, and they have you strapped down.
So you can't move.
So you can't even move. All you got is you depending on you, and you have to take one
breath.
Freaking breath.
That's it.
Before they, totally, I guess, strap.
But
it was hard.
I think this is interesting because I remember when I remember seeing you, and I remember you not wanting to have a conversation with me, and I almost thought you were contemplating what was next. Was I right about that?
Yeah. I thought I was cashing out.
I believe that. Our conversation was clear to me that you felt like it's a 50-50 toss-up, and I'm probably on the other side of it.
When they stick that thing in through your wrist, and they say, look, we can probably operate through here once we see what's going on. So they stick it in your wrist and they stick it in your groin. And they're trying to see where you're at. And if you're under 70 or you're good, all mine came back 100, 100, 100. It was 100s on everything leading from my heart to my heart. Completely gone.
Yeah.
There's no.
So what brought you back? Why are you here today? Why are we here talking?
I guess Dr. Cho, man. I told him he the man. Yeah, like he left me with no feeling in my leg. I told him I'm mad about that because he takes everything from here.
Yeah.
He pulled everything out of there, so I have no feeling in my freaking leg no more.
You really complaining about that?
Yeah. But what makes it bad is that your recovery is 3 years.
Yeah.
Technically, you can't work.
So you're still in the recovery stage.
So I'm in lots of pain all day long. Because when you work inside of 13 centimeters, when they saw it, that chest bone, and they try to stitch it back up with metal, he has to move everything around. So I still get up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I can feel like certain things moving inside my body.
Because you're still healing.
Because you're still healing. And so Baltimore, I won't name the hospital that I got all this done at, right? But they sell drugs. I didn't know that I didn't understand the medical world.
You mean pharmaceuticals to help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you made it sound like people were walking through the street with through the hallways with hoodies on and everything.
I understand what the medical world is now.
Absolutely.
Is that it's all about selling medicine.
Yeah.
They had me on like 16 meds. And for I don't drink or do drugs ever in my life. And so I was on so many opioids.
Yeah.
And so many painkillers.
Just to manage.
I was such an addict. Man, I was popping them. Like in the hospital, they monitor how they give it to you. When I got home, Lex was up every 35 minutes like, Dad, this is going. I was like, Lex, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even, like you gotta pee leaning to the side. Like you can't even get out the bed at all. And you can't walk around or any, like that black Uber ride to get home
was terrible.
Felt like hell on earth. I said, man, if you don't slow down, Like, we ain't got no time to be there. And, Lex was getting mad. Lex was like, sir, can you please just take the road, like get off this expressway?
Yeah.
So she's like, my dad is really, really, really in a lot of pain.
That's your protector, huh?
Yeah, that's my little champ right there. But I became addicted to drugs for the first time in my life.
Because you were trying to save your life.
And I had no idea. I didn't know, like, it's this thing called gummies that you can take that has like weed in it or something like that. And I was taking like 3 or 4 of them things, and I was zoning like.
In addition to that,
like if you at one point there was so much. The whole coffee table, my coffee table was like super big. The whole coffee table was full.
And so, how do you bring yourself? First of all, let me say this: you never told me, so we're gonna come back to it. It wasn't Dr. Cho. There's something else driving you to be sitting here today. I don't think it was. I mean, he saved your life medically, but I think there's a will that you have to live. And
that's Demi. That's my little granddaughter, Demi.
Yeah. You
that's
had
Lex's
more
daughter.
Time. You needed to spend more time with Demi.
Yeah, and the support comes from the craziest place. My kid's mother, like, she done moved on. Like, we haven't talked in years. But not in a bad way. We just don't, we live 2 different lives. She's married, moved on. She sent me a picture, and she said, Sam, don't ever forget the reason. She's like, we love you. And she was sending me pictures of Demi and stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
And this is somebody who I don't even talk to. I don't have no interaction with at all. She a nice person. And to get that text from her, it was like everything. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
She's like, she really put it in perspective. You know what I'm saying?
So how is the addiction piece now?
I got up one morning and I was like, Lex, I can't do this no more. And I said, Mimi, I can't do this no more. I can't take these drugs. They had me on Ozempic. They had me shooting myself in the stomach with drugs. I was on so much stuff. And I said, I can't do it no more. I said, I got to find a new doctor. So I found this Indian lady in Bethesda at the hospital. And she said, because I didn't know I was being lied to. They was talking like this medicine was going to heal me and help me. She said, let me tell you something. She's like, what you went through, it takes 3 years. That's why they told you not to work for 3 years. She said, the pain ain't going nowhere. She said, your new narrative is learning how to live with pain, not getting rid of pain. She's like, you're going to have to learn. And when she told me that, I went back to work. I was like, forget it.
You're here.
Yeah, I was like, I threw all that stuff out, threw it in the trash. I told Lex to get rid of that stuff. I never took it again. I stayed on the blood thinners. I stayed on stuff that keeps me alive.
Yeah, of course.
But all that opioids and all that other stuff, oh, I got rid of that stuff, man. I gave young people eat those edibles for other reasons. So I was like, honey, I took them to work. I said, honey, y'all can split all this amongst yourselves.
Not you being the plug.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, you got the pharmaceutical? I was like, I didn't know it was a
Sammy.
difference between the street ones and
the
pharmaceutical ones. I was like, well, I could have probably made some money off this stuff.
I hope not. I hope that.
But yeah, I think for me, I just woke up and decided that I wasn't going to turn into no drug addict.
Yeah.
At all. Like, y'all wasn't going to have me addicted like that. I remember a guy sitting there just like that, and I was walking in for an appointment, and he had a box with him. And he went back there to talk to the doctor before I got back there, and I could hear him coming out. He's like, yeah, let's get some sales.
Oh my God.
That box was in the room where I went, and he tried to give me that. He's like, yeah, I'm going to put you on it. I was like, I just was sitting in the lobby with that man.
I heard you.
Yeah, I know it's, like, no, y'all ain't about to give me whatever that is. I'm not about to experiment with that. And so with my sister being in the medical world, she was giving me like all types of medical advice and stuff like that. She was like, don't take the metformin. She's like, that's going to mess up your kidney, liver, something like that. And the crazy part is that what made me, when I started believing in God, when my sister prayed for me, is that my kidneys was failing. The COVID was eating up my kidneys. And that doctor lady said, I don't know what happened. She was like, but your kidneys are perfect now.
Oh.
And I think what I went through, having never done drugs, Dr. Cho said, you got the most perfect heart. He said, the irony is your heart is so perfect. He's like, your heart has never seen anything bad. He's like, no drug. He's like, but had you been a smoker or drugs or something like that, he said, oh, you would have died immediately. He said, not doing drugs is what kept, and I was glad my daughters were there to hear that, because they like to puff a little weed and drink a little bit, and I was telling them, like, don't do drugs.
Oh, Lex, no business. Lex, sorry about this.
I always try to tell my kids, like, don't do that stuff. I mean, they do it around me now. Like we're comfortable with it and stuff like that. Like I let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because drugs is legal now. But he said, look, he said your heart was just so perfect.
It was perfect.
He said you had one
Except
of the most
for, Sammy, you went through a very public breakup. As a matter of fact, so public. My friend who doesn't even do social media, as we were on the way over here, was like, yeah, I remember the breakup. I remember the breakup. What? Oh my God. It was not only public.
Was it messy?
It was downright messy. And I'm just thinking, you are a very public person, but you're odd because you're actually pretty private.
I am, yeah. That's the irony about it.
It's the irony of like this whole situation is that you're a public figure, but really
nobody knows what's going on in my house.
Not at all. And so two things. One, you went through a very public breakup where all of us got a chance to have a front row seat, which was, I can't even lie. Like my friends back in Atlanta, we were like, girl, did you see what Sammy posted? Like
Juicy.
Somebody talk to him.
Somebody take his phone.
Somebody take his phone right now. What was that like to have like the most intimate part of your life just kind of out for everybody to see and comment on?
I didn't go public with it until, I'm going to blame Lex.
Will you leave Lex out of this?
No, because Lex sent me a thing, an Instagram, whatever you call it, reel. She was like, Dad, she's like, you got to see this. And it was somebody claiming to have created Milk and Honey.
Not you.
Yeah, not me. Yeah,
Okay.
Not me. The other person said that they created Milk and Honey. And it was all their idea and that I was an employee of theirs. That I worked for them. And that hit. Everything else we had ate, we was good. I was good with whatever was going on. If you got a new boo, that's fine. Mm-hmm. If you doing this, you don't went on with your life, that's fine. You can say what you want. Trash me, call me a dog, say that I wasn't a good man or something like that or a good whatever. But when you try to say that you created Milk and Honey and that you're the reason behind Milk and Honey, that's when I drew the line. That's when I went public. That's what.
Yeah. That's where everything started.
Yeah, that's when
That's when we all got involved.
That's when y'all got involved. And y'all saw me go live.
That's when all of us became
yes.
a part. We all entered the group chat.
There you go, yes.
Yeah.
When I saw that, and I was right, and that's why it happened in my car. Y'all saw me in my car when it happened.
Yeah.
I was reading it and I was driving somewhere, I think probably driving home, and I looked at it and I was like, oh no, I pulled over to the side and I had to address that. And after that, it just
I think there were some things about like protecting your brand. And I think like if folks are entrepreneurs or starting something new and they're really aspiring to do something, there were some back conversations about like you being more thoughtful about protecting your own brand. Was that part of the struggle? Was maybe you didn't do enough to make sure that, you had gotten your brand secured?
Business-wise, I didn't make no right moves business-wise.
Yeah.
And probably part
So
of
you
it
left
because,
yourself kind of vulnerable.
Yeah, but I told you, after I found my mom, like, I wasn't invested the same way with this stuff. So it kind of like meant nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, you can eat from this table. Like, I realized I created that, but I let somebody eat. And honestly, what happened down in Atlanta with that restaurant, where that restaurant was sued, a prominent person was sued. And for them to win a lawsuit, the prominent person contacted me. He said, look, man, you got to drop your lawsuit. I'm going to pay all them people, but you got to drop yours. And we ain't going to pay her neither. We're going to pay everybody else, but y'all two, y'all ain't getting paid.
Yeah.
And so I made promises to that person that I look out for you when I come about. So the lawsuit played out like that. Because I had brought all those people with me from other restaurants and stuff, and they believed in me.
Yeah.
And I hate that they didn't get paid and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of like had to get a deposition. I was the only proof between me and him that he owned that restaurant.
Yeah.
That was the only proof they had was the contract
no
between me and him. There was no documents nowhere else that he owned that restaurant. For them to win that lawsuit, they had to prove that he owned the restaurant. The only way he owned that restaurant was the contract that he had with me.
What would you tell, folks who are creating these amazing brands? I mean, you created this huge brand and then had to kind of navigate these choppy waters. But so often we're so excited for two things. One, we're excited to put something into the universe that other people can see. But then two, we will partner with people, right? Like, 'cause we want someone to share in the space with us. But while we're doing that, we're not necessarily thinking about all the legalities that
the Maryland State's attorney, that white guy. I went in there, my lawyer went in there with the guy, right?
Yeah.
And we said, look, we need you to bring charges against this person because they've committed a lot of financial fraud. And he agreed.
Yeah.
But he said, the mistake you made is that you made somebody a partner in your business who should have been the secretary. And he said, I can't get a grand jury together to indict this person because you gave them a certain amount of power.
Jeez.
He said, and we have PPP loans. So he's like, you see this? He said, you see this right here? He said, we got to prosecute all these people right here. Mm-hmm. He said, we can only take cases if we can win 100%. Mm-hmm. He said, can I win your case? Probably. He said, but your case is not 100% win. So for me to win my civil suit, for me to sue her, my lawyer wanted the criminal case to come first.
Oh, I see.
So that's why he was holding off. He was like, let's get her criminally indicted. You know what I'm saying? And win that case. But he has so many PPP loans that he's like, for the next 10 years,
that's what
he's like, we're gonna be locking
on
these people up.
Yeah.
And he was like, this takes precedent over your little case right here. And he said, I know who you are. He said, I want to help you so bad because I know who you are. And he said, I understand your story. He said, I'm actually from Philadelphia. He said, he said, I went to Roman. He said, I went to Cardinal Doherty. He's a Cardinal Doherty graduate, which is my neighborhood Catholic high school.
Yeah.
He said, so I know a lot about you. And he was like, I'll get you. He's like, I can try to. He's like, but to try to get a grand jury to seek an indictment would be very hard because you made somebody a partner who honestly should have been your secretary.
So Sammy, one last controversy, and then we are going to wrap up for the day. This has been good. But I knew it would be because we know each other. And so, like, I knew you would be relaxed. You're telling all the business. We do apologize for all the names that we've...
I only said Lex. That's my daughter. She won't sue me.
We've talked about Chuck, poor Chuck. We've talked about a lot of people.
Right back
now, listen, you went a little viral a few weeks ago when... So we're in D.C. now. And there is no mistake that D.C. has experienced a bit of a federal law enforcement takeover.
Yeah.
And when all of this started to happen, people in D.C. were pushing back. They did not want all of the agencies to convene on D.C. at one time, and especially given this construct that crime is down. Mm-hmm. To the lowest it has been in 30 years. I think it was something of that nature. Murders and violent crime has dropped. All of the things that we would assume that DC is doing better now from a crime standpoint. You had an interview, and the reporter, I remember, asked you your thoughts on the federal takeover, and you kind of endorsed it.
I've been a victim of crime in D.C. in the past year like none other. So I feel it firsthand. Like, my truck is gone, and that was my baby. So maybe I was speaking from that.
Yeah.
But I see it out here on the streets.
Yeah. Like
cars getting broken into. These people work hard in here every night. Then they go out there, and their car is vandalized. That girl behind the bar, she had the finals the next day. They took her computer and all her iPad, everything.
But do you think federal agents need to be here?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't think it couldn't be?
Like I said, I couldn't.
You don't think that
DC
should just do a better job instead of bringing all the agencies to converge?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not.
You just want the crime to stop.
Yeah, there you go.
You want your car to be.
I don't care who do it. Yeah, if Trump want to come out here and walk and police the streets, he's welcome to it. If Mayor Bowser, she want to come and walk beside him and police the streets, yeah. But we do need something. Like, this is getting ridiculous.
Friend, thank you for the time today. I've had such a good time, and we have talked about everything. So listen, we've talked about your past, we've talked about your current. What's next?
Probably Charlotte.
Are you moving?
I hope so.
Oh my gosh.
I dream of living in Charlotte.
What is it about
I
Charlotte?
don't know. I just love that place.
Have no rhyme or reason why
No
you want to
rhyme
be in
reason. Just
Charlotte.
when I go there, I just can't leave.
Okay.
And I think Ballantyne. Have you
Okay.
stayed there?
I haven't.
There's a town outside of Charlotte called
Okay.
Ballantyne.
Okay.
It's an amazing resort.
Okay.
If you don't do nothing else, go stay at that resort. And then you'll get to be in a little town called Ballantyne.
You are not going to live in a little town, friend.
I think I want to live in that little town called Ballantyne. It's so nice.
What is really next?
The brunch scene. Getting back to brunch. I think I had this love affair with brunch. And I think me coming back to brunch is what I want to do. But taking it to different places. Like some Black restaurants, some urban restaurants are really struggling with great food. And so my thing is to take it there, charge them really a little bit of money, and they can build up off of that.
I see.
That momentum, and try to get them some momentum with great food. I think a lot of them have the audience, but they don't have the food.
Yeah.
And that's what's next for me. Like, I got a lot of restaurants lined up to take it to, who've agreed to it. And I think that's what
Anything
I want to
else in the DMV?
Yeah, I'm working on something right now. Favorite B word.
Yeah.
The B standing for brunch. It'll have a brick and mortar. I'm working on the LOI right now as we speak, and hopefully it'll have a home.
I love that.
And I'll go back to, just like I started Milk and Honey, I'll go back and start Favorite B word, Elevated Brunch.
You are phenomenal.
Thank you so
In the
much.
event I haven't told you, how can people follow you and keep up with you?
Sammy Davis Edie, I think. Yeah, on Instagram. CEO Sammy Davis Edie on Instagram. But you can find me in any restaurant on the weekends. And
They
on the
can come
weekday.
to Baltimore
Yeah.
to Yebo or
Come to Baltimore to
here.
Yebo. Come here to Gaia, Marley's, Crab Cab. Yeah,
Marley's. They love you over there.
I hope
That was
so.
amazing.
I love Marley's.
That was amazing. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate.
It's been a pleasure.
I want to thank Chef Sammy for sharing his courage, his extraordinary story about his success and his full journey from surviving an unimaginable childhood to his culinary empire. His story is living proof that our beginning don't determine our ending, and that redemption is possible for anyone if you're willing to fight for it. This has been our inaugural episode of On Record Off Script. I'm your host, Yolanda Lewis, and if you want to follow us at www.swankpro.com. Remember that where we begin is not where we end, and until next time, stay swank.